What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another SLA video. Folks, we have ourselves a brand new tier list update to do with Frieren and Stark. This is really going to help a lot of veterans or a lot of new players specifically because you're coming in and a lot of you probably are new because of this brand new collab. So we'll talk a little bit about all the characters, who you want to go for, what you want to focus on, and if Stark and Frieren are in fact going to be sitting in the top tier list or if they are kind of overhyped and if Netmarble didn't do them any justice. So without further ado, guys, while this game plays, we're going to go ahead and jump in to the actual tier list portion of it. Now, before I continue on, I want to remind everybody though, content creator program is still going on, guys. Brand new season just started, new codes are on the way, so make sure you hit that support button, get yourself in and support your boy. It's free, guys. You don't lose anything, you gain everything. All I do is send you guys codes, take those codes, run with it, put them into your account and use them, whether you're free to play or pay to win. It doesn't really matter. It is absolutely free to sign up. Okay, so guys, this is linked to every single chat, every single comment section, every single description. Make sure you check it out and join and support your boy. It means a lot to me and helps the channel grow and continues the solo leveling content at a steady pace. All right, without further ado, guys, let's get into the tier list and talk a little bit about what we've done before and what we plan to do now and where people sit. So as usual, let's get the SRs out of the way. We know where they go by this point. I still do them because new players are going to jump on and ask questions. So let's put the worst of the worst out of the way now. That way you guys don't have to worry about it anymore. And we can just kind of focus on the main focal points, which are the SSRs and where they are going to be sitting going forward. So the worst units are as usual. Nothing really has changed. Nothing will ever change. I kind of wish I could just save this and keep it this way, but it's not my original tier list. I just add to it every single time and just use the images that are provided in there. Okay, so you guys can see pretty much everyone here will be used at this rate. The only one here that's fairly useful, there's a couple actually. He's good because of his heavy break during support mode. She's great. Park is great because she has the ultimate increase, but again, not used at all anymore for the most part. And of course, only sits on her own because she has the defense break. We're gonna put her in A because she kind of deserves that. All right, so that takes care of all of the SRs. The only one really useful now that's still kind of being used is Anna. I'm sure they'll replace her eventually. Someone else will take her spot and we won't have to worry about that anymore. Okay, now that is going to tie up all of the SRs. Those are gone. Now let's focus on the SSRs instead and see where they kind of belong now. Okay, so first off, yeah, Beck is always going to be B. Unfortunately, still slow, decent breaker at best, has defense red. That's the best thing going for him. Wu, now that Goto's out, Wu's pretty much irrelevant. I don't see Wu being used ever again. We need the 2.0 version. Sa has been irrelevant for quite some time. And then of course the worst of the worst is going to be Dongsu. Even though he has shield remove and he can be useful for very niche situations, he is one of the worst ones right now going in that squad. Okay, now that'll round up your worst units. Let's move over to the next ones, and that'll be your A's. Choi, A, defense red, burn, fairly decent for that. Good support unit, okay DPS at best, but again, not having crit kind of ruins them a little bit. Akari, definitely going to be up here. Better for light version. They did buffer quite a bit. Still, unfortunately, not kind of carrying her weight or the axe. I think Laura is going to be a bigger upgrade of Akari in terms of what she provides the light team, and is probably the unit that Thomas has been waiting for in terms of getting him buffed. Or if they decide to make Christopher Reed light, she may be also set up for him because he comes the following month after Laura is completed, right? So just keep that in mind. She will be coming in 1 month before, during the 1.5 anniversary. And if they were kind of smart about it, I know a lot of people want him to be fire, they may end up, because Fern is coming out, they may end up actually having him as light to replace Thomas as the main light DPS, because right now light doesn't have that and probably should at some point. All right, Lim, yes, he did get an upgrade. I'm gonna honestly put him in S now. He's a little bit better mobile, decent breaker, fairly decent damage. Actually, you know what, I take that back. We're gonna keep him in A. There's a pretty big difference between A and S, and I want to make sure that we differentiate that. All right, next up we have Alicia. Where are you at, Alicia? There she is. Yeah. Unfortunately, how the mighty have fallen. I know, guys. I know it's a sad sight to see, but let's be real. When it comes down to water, Alicia is kind of second right now when it comes down to the other units that are out there for the water squad, right? So that's important to note. She has fallen off. Is she useful still? She can be. Would you go for her? Probably not. Go for White Shot. All right, next up, S section. Shuha, I think, still deserves to be the top. honestly, I feel like she even deserves SS at this point, so I'm gonna toss her up there. Mei Lin, where are you at? Honestly, yeah, okay, we'll keep her here. No, you know what? We're gonna do this. We're gonna keep that consistent. I'm gonna keep it consistent. Gina, still relevant, bro. Still relevant. I don't know how they haven't replaced Gina yet. She's been around for such a long time, but she's still a relevant support. Still the best fire support, believe it or not, with only one exception to the rule, depending on the unit you use. We'll talk more about that when we get to that unit, of course. Harper, honestly, that's the only choice we really have right now. Charlotte, where's she at? Charlotte, same scenario. I mean, we got way better DPS now for Dark, so like she's gonna have to sit there, unfortunately, and kind of just, you know, do her thing. Mireille, yeah, Mireille's kind of not usable anymore. Believe it or not, SM Beck is actually pretty damn strong right now, so I'm gonna put him in SS for now. He has a lot of good DPS, especially at A5. Anything below A5 kind of not as good, but with A5 he's actually pretty decent. Gunheat, we'll put him right there. And then Cha also still considered an S, believe it or not, still being used for guild boss and you know, BOTs once in a while. Min, where are you at, Min? There you go. Min is up here as well. And then Hansi Mei and Lee Bora actually just got an upgrade. I'm gonna put Lee Bora in SS. She deserves it with the new upgrades that she got, but Hansi Mei definitely is going to sit right over here. I'd say it's probably a bit better than Min now. So right there. So there you guys go. That is pretty much the setup for that squad. Honestly, I'd say this is fairly consistent, and I don't think this is going to change too much. We're probably going to see some power creep units come in, and quite honestly, it's rightfully so, because some of these units are over 7 to 8 months old and definitely need to get an upgrade ASAP Rocky. Like, it's crazy. So just keep that in mind when you guys are watching this, that this is based off of what's happening now, not what predictions are in the future. We're going off of the testing that we have at the moment, okay? Just so everyone's aware. All right, now, SS. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. So I'm going to put Essel here. Okay, Essel belongs there. Suyun is going to go here. Yusuyun, where you at? You're going to go here. Like I said, this is where it gets a little tricky, okay? Saren, we're going to put over here as well. I will put her right in this section, actually. Isla actually just got a massive boost, so we're going to put her in SSS again. Frieren. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I've yet to find incredible results from her. So I've had a hard time putting her in anything other than what you just saw. Goto, also going to be SS. Breaker. The rest of these guys, Thomas will be SS at the moment. Thomas may go up depending on the support that he gets. The rest of these guys are pretty OP. I'll put Mayun actually right in front of Thomas. I think that's, and Kanai actually will also fall back now. I'd say even right around here or here, depending where you're looking at. The rest of the squad here you're looking at are going to be your top tier squads. Yes, Stark is free. One of the biggest reasons why he deserves that. At A5, he's bonkers for damage. Very selfish breaker. So we're going to put him over here, but he's still definitely top tier for breaking. Ironically enough, Yuki is better because of the utility and the debuff she brings. Plus, she does high intense damage as well. But any defense penetration fights, Stark will always do more DPS, but Yuki's very close behind. And being two breakers and where they're at right now is pretty insane. Mini, I'm going to put Mini up here for Dark. We're going to put Song Il-hwan right here as the top DPS at the moment. Wetcha probably here as well. And then I still think Leonard deserves right around this area. I'm debating on who's better between the two of them. I think Leonard still kind of holds that title because of his perfect support. We don't have a great breaker yet for Song Il-hwan, but I think the moment we do, we'll probably see him be number 1 and him number 2. So I think this is how my tier list is going to look, guys. You can see we have a lot of good options, and many of these ones here are definitely newer units. Some of these guys are still old though. So the older units are finally starting to get power crept. We're starting to see them kind of fall in the S and the A categories, but the new units are taking over now and starting to show their light based on the teams and their individual performances, of course, are being calculated here. All right, guys, if you did like the tier list, please leave a comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, put those notifications on. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.